His Excellency Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, Prime Minister of the Republic of Singapore, and Mrs. Lee Hsien Loong, members of the Singapore and Malaysia delegations, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to express our appreciation of the hospitality extended to me, my wife, and my delegation to Singapore today. This is an official visit because I did come here 2 months ago without the knowledge, or officially not without the knowledge of the Singapore government. We came here to see a sick person, but we also went to a restaurant called Rendezvous Restaurant, because I remember that restaurant very well when I was studying here a long, long time ago. Malaysia and Singapore are like twins in a way, excepting that perhaps the elder twin is a little bit bigger than the younger twin and a little bit older. But we have been able to live together in reasonably harmonious terms. It is not often that you see countries which come together and then separated and still be able to work together and help each other. And with regard to the help extended by Singapore, I wish to record here our appreciation for the help extended by Singapore during the present currency crisis we had recently. We will always appreciate that, and if there is any way we can return the hospitality, we will try to do so. But the most important thing, of course, is to continue the good relations. As between two countries, there will be some differences. There will also be competition as between two countries, but the competition is always healthy. It helps us to really make every effort to win in any competition, and this only helps us to grow even faster. Malaysia and Singapore are mutually dependent. Singapore has got no hinterland, but must regard Malaysia as its hinterland. On the other hand, for a very long time, Malaysia had to depend on Singapore for its exports and imports, because Singapore has developed into a great port that is comparable to the greatest in the world. And we need the services of this port and other services related to trade and industry. Singapore has invested in Malaysia, and Singapore's trade with Malaysia is, Malaysia's figures show that Singapore is the biggest trading partner but one. The biggest, of course, is China. And we hope to continue with this good relations, both economically and also in terms of our mutual respect for each other. We have a role to play, I think, in this region, and together I think we can be very effective in helping the whole region to grow. That is why the formation of ASEAN is very important. And if we can remember, ASEAN was formed by 5 countries, including Singapore, mainly not because of economic needs, but because we had to solve problems of close relations between neighbors. When we became independent, we were very aggressive in many instances, and we confronted each other. we didn't regard each other as friends, as neighbors. Instead, we see each other as strong competitors who are not going to do any good for us. But it happens that after the confrontation with Indonesia, Indonesian leaders decided that there was nothing to be gained from confrontation, and they suggested a successor to Melindo, the ASEAN grouping of 5 countries. And from 5, we have now grown into 10 countries. And if you look throughout the world, not many regional association has survived, but ASEAN has not only survived, but is still continuing to work very closely together and hopefully to grow. So there is much at stake in the relationship between Malaysia and Singapore, and I'm very glad to be able to make this visit and to have a discussion with Mr. Lee on our relations and how to improve the relation. I very much appreciate the fact that Mr. Lee was the second leader to visit Malaysia after I won the election. Of course, it was not a very formal visit, no parades, no inspection of guards of honor, but nevertheless, the reception is as sincere as can be, and we expect that this close relation, which started almost immediately after the new government takes over, will continue to be very close and cooperative between the 2 countries. I hope that this visit will cement the strong relation between our 2 countries and grow the relations together so that we can, each one of us, benefit from having 2 neighbors which are not at odds with each other, but at times competing with each other, but most of the time working with each other.